Hi girls, it's Coach Lisa. It's Wednesday night before the weekend of our first games, and I'm super excited. And I have to be honest, a little nervous. I always am before the big games, a few butterflies in my stomach, and I figured a couple of you might too, and that's no big deal. It's totally normal. It just means that you're excited. And I'm not going to be practice tomorrow, but Coach KG and Mr. Gerard, Taylor's dad, are going to be there. I'm going to be going over a bunch of stuff to get you all ready, but I wanted to go over a couple of the basics that we've been talking about, and I've sent a couple of emails about, but I figured we can't really take time always in practice to go over and spend the time just to talk about, because we're doing things, which is what we should be doing, but I figured I'd go over a couple of the basics just so that you could see and feel ready. I've also written this all out for your mom and dad, and they can read it to you and go over things. So I just want you to all feel as prepared as possible. For the returning girls, it's kind of a refresher, and for the newer girls, it's just a reminder of everything that's going to be going on. So let's start with the basics. Our positions. So we start with our goalie. We have 3 defenders. We have a defense midi, another defense midi, a center, an attack midi, another attack midi, and 3 attackers. Okay. These 3 defense people are always on defense. That's what they do. These 3 attackers, always on attack. It's these 5 girls in the middle that have to do a little bit more thinking when we're out there. And a lot of it has to do with these 2 lines that we keep hearing about, the restraining lines. So when we're on attack, when we have the ball, we're trying to shoot and score, we can only have 7 girls down here. When we're on defense and we're trying to keep that ball away from our goalie, we can have 7 girls down here. Can't have more. If we have 8, they call the whistle, we're offsides. So that's why these girls in the middle have to do a little bit of thinking. So our center is the girl who takes the draw, who starts the game. She also takes the draw after every goal. And you girls have been practicing them, and they're looking really great, so I think that's going to be a ton of fun. But the center does probably the most running in the game, because you play attack when we're on attack, and you play defense when we're on defense. Always. Now, these defense middies always play defense when we're on defense, and one of them will play attack when we're on attack, and one of them will stay back behind this line. These 2 attack middies are always on attack when we're on attack, and one will help out on defense, and one will stay here. So that's what I was saying in the beginning of the game, the defense midi and the attack midi. You guys are kind of like a team. You 2 are a team, you 2 are a team. So when we're on defense, you 2 defense middies, you're always back there. But these attack middies, one has to help out. So if it's, say, Grace and Hadley, Hadley goes to help out on defense, Grace stays here. Same thing on attack. So now we're on attack. Our 2 attack middies come down, so now we've got 5. Our center's also there because she's always playing attack and defense. So we need one more player. So one of those defense middies, they decide, okay, one's going to go and the other one stays. So for instance, if it's Alexis and Alexa, and Alexa says, I'm going because my girls, I'm in the play, she goes down and Alexis has to stay on this side. Here's one thing, particularly on defense for these attack middies. If the girl that you're on, or is on you, because really you're an attacker, goes down, don't go follow her. She's going to be offsides, but you are not. You'll pick her up again when she comes back over this line. Same thing on attack. Defense middies. If one's over the line and the other one's holding back, but your attacker decides, I'm going to go down and help, don't go with her. We don't want to be offsides. The other thing is substitutions, and we haven't really talked about this. In basketball and some other sports, you actually blow the whistle and play stops, and we then send in the new players. But that's not how we do it in lacrosse always. Sometimes we will do substitutions after a goal, but oftentimes, or most of the time, we actually do it what they say on the fly. So that means Coach KG and myself, or whoever's helping out, is here on the sideline, and you girls who are not playing, so this is, now I know on Saturday we only have 12 girls, but that's not normal. Normally we would have some girls who would be substituting. You must be right next to these coaches, because if we need you to go in, we need you to, be right there and say, okay, these girls are coming off and you're going in for them. So it's not a time that you're sitting on the sidelines and you're drinking water and you're chatting with your friends. No, you can do that after the game. During the game, if you are not playing, you stand right next to the coaches so that we can be sure that we're getting everybody in and trying all different positions. Okay, some fouls. We've been going over this, so I think you probably, know offsides is when there's more than 7 players on either end. They blow the whistle. If we're offsides, they give the ball to the other team. If they're offsides, they give the ball to us. Shooting space. Shooting space is really a foul to protect the defender. So if you are defending a girl and she's coming in and her shot when she follows through would potentially hit you in the face, that means you're probably right in front of that girl, and that's shooting space. It's creating a dangerous situation or dangerous play. So then the attacker would get the ball for a free shot. If you are an attacker and the other team gets called for shooting space, what ends up happening is, and Caroline Keating reminded me of this the other day, you would get the ball here. So now you're the attacker. The defender who got shooting space goes behind you. In this age, we do what's called an indirect shot, which means you have to pass the ball one time. So probably your teammate is going to be down here or maybe down here. And you have to make one pass and then they can go to goal. As you get older, you don't have to make a pass. So you literally could just shoot directly on the goalie. But they don't do that at this age. So you would have to make one pass. The 3-second rule. The 3-second rule is actually kind of interesting because it's actually a way to reward good defense. In this age group, you're not allowed to check or make any physical contact with the girl that you're defending. So if you're playing good defense, you're parallel to your girl, your stick is upright, not in her face, you're forcing her one way or the other, and the girl just keeps cradling in front of you and doesn't make what they call a move, which means she'd dodge or she'd switch hands or she'd accelerate past you. Then the referee is saying, okay, this girl is playing good defense, and the attacker has to do something. So she'll start calling 1, 2, 3, and at 3, if the girl hasn't made a move, then we get the ball as defense. So I kind of like this rule because it actually, in my mind, is like the ref is saying to the defender, good job, you did what you were supposed to be doing, but the attacker didn't, so you get the ball. And if we have the ball and the ref starts counting 1, 2, we'll try and remind you, but you've got to make a move at that point. So use some of these dodges that you've been trying. The other thing on defense, again, and you know I say it all the time, do not be hanging your cross in her stick. Do not hang it across her body. If you're running and this girl is running faster than you, and I'd rather have her beat you than get the foul where you're sort of making it dangerous, because that's not, you know better. So I'd rather her just go and hopefully a teammate will help you out. And again, on defense, I can't say it enough. You have to stick like glue to your player. You should really be no more than, an arm's length, but even like half an arm's length. Really be there. Have your stick up. If her stick is here, your stick follows her. Everywhere her stick head goes, your stick head goes. And you never stop your feet. And this happened the other day when we were doing the defense drills. The minute we stop our feet, the attacker's going to go by. And vice versa, when we're on attack, if we see that our defender has stopped her feet, my gosh, just go, because you're going to beat her. There's no way she's going to have enough time to switch directions. Okay, in terms of our plays, just to go over them again. So when we do rainbow, we've got 2 girls behind the goal, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This can be any combination. These can be the 2 attackers, that can be the 3rd attacker, this could be an attack midi, that could be the center. Bottom line is, I don't care who it is, you just have to be in this setup. If we call rainbow 2, which is probably most of the ones in the beginning we're going to call rainbow 2 or rainbow 3, it means we make 2 passes, or 3 passes, and once that third pass or second pass is made, we go to goal. But the big thing is, and Cassidy pointed it out the other day, it was so much easier when we spread it out and we just made our cuts. But one thing I'd say is, if, say, this is the first cut, she has the ball. She cuts to her, she makes the catch. This girl doesn't stand there then. She goes up to the top, and this girl takes her place. So now she's got the ball, and maybe she passes over here. This girl comes down. Bottom line, we're just keeping that area in front of the goal open. Okay? Open, open, open. And as I said to McKay the other day, you can stand back there and cradle as long as you want. There's no rule against that. If you need to keep saying to everybody, settle down, rainbow 2, recount, go ahead and do that, okay? I just want us to learn the best way to play this game, and it's not just follow the ball, and it's not just racking up the score, running down to goal. It's learning how to work as a team and make good passes and make good cuts, because that's really what it's all about. So the other day, we also, not everybody was here, but we talked about rocket, which is what we call an isolation play. So when we have rocket, again, we're set up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've made our 2 passes. So now, this girl ends up with the ball. When we yell rocket, she takes off this way, not to the goal. She goes the other way. So now she's confusing the defense. And when she does that, all of our attackers run to the opposite side. So now, essentially, everybody's over here. When we yell go or now, this girl with the ball who's running away from the goal, she pivots really, really sharply, and she takes off running as fast as she can. And most likely, most of the times that we've seen this done, and you girls who did it last year can tell, the defender doesn't know what's going on. So you beat her immediately when you make that sharp cut back, and now you're coming into goal, and it's just you and the goalie. And that's a good spot to be in when you're making a shot. And if you miss, no big deal, because now your teammates are all back here, and they're going to help out. But when we yell rocket, that means get out. Let this girl do what she needs to do by herself. Okay? And again, if you have this ball, we'll say now, and that's when you run back. So hopefully we'll get to do that in the game on Saturday and on Sunday, because it's kind of fun, and people get really confused, and it works very well. So anyway, I'm super excited, as I said. These are all things that you guys have heard about, have done before. I think we're going to do great. This is only the beginning of the season, and who knows, sky's the limit. I know we're going to be awesome. For those girls who can't be with us on Saturday, who are going to the Midland Fair, have a super great time. Win a lot of goldfish for us. And I think that's pretty much it. So hope you get a good night's sleep. Have a great practice tomorrow, and I will see the girls at 8:30 on Saturday morning, and then at 12:30 on Sunday for the Jamboree. Nighty-night. Bye.